Being single in your 30s is a whole struggle.
I talk a lot about like dating on my page, especially as a single mom. And so I want to touch on why dating as a single mom is so freaking hard. And it's really pushed me to the decision of not dating anymore. I just feel like not only do I have to obviously think of myself when I'm dating and what I'm looking for, but also somebody that's going to be healthy and good for my children.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you are all doing well. So on today's episode, guys, we are going to be taking a look at single mothers trying to date over the age of 30. And I love how this woman sits here and she says, well, I'm just looking for a man who's going to be good for my child. But, you know, they never consider the actual biological father of the child. How about you go and make the relationship with him work? Oh, what's that? He's a narcissist? He's a terrible person? Well, should have chose better. And guys, in a lot of these situations, the men that these women are actually choosing, you know, they're not necessarily bad guys. Either they remove them entirely from the picture because they were a good man, he was a little bit too boring, or they do choose the bad boys who don't want to stick around. In any case, guys, of course, it is all men's fault. But without further ado, guys, let's just jump right into today's video. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments, and let's take a listen to some of these single mothers giving dating advice.
I talk a lot about like dating on my page, especially as a single mom. And so I want to touch on why dating as a single mom is so freaking hard. And it's really...
You guys know why dating as a single mother is so hard? And I know there's like 1,050 reasons. But the main one is because you shouldn't be dating in the first place. Men do not want, you know, typically, men who have self-respect do not want to look after kids that are not their own. Okay, it is a hard thing to do because you shouldn't be dating with a kid. You should already have your relationship. You should already have your marriage. Not that I support marriage nowadays, you know, particularly for men, but you should already have your life set up. These girls get to like 35 years of age and they're like, well, time to start a family, time to find a religious man who's going to take care of me. It's absolutely disgusting.
Really pushed me to the decision of not dating anymore. I just feel like not only do I have to obviously think of myself when I'm dating and what I'm looking for, but also somebody that's going to be healthy and good for my children.
Madam, the reason why you are in the situation that you're in is because you only think about yourself. That is the problem. You know, guys, you hear these girls say they're going on their healing journey and they need to start thinking about themselves and all about self-love. The reason why they were in the situation that they're in to begin with is because they only care about themselves. If they cared about the kid, they would have had the father be in the picture for the kid. And guys, I don't mean to be rude, but a lot of these girls, there's nothing authentic about their videos. They put on a lot of filters and makeup and crap because their skin makes them look like absolute gremlins. And guys, I don't want that to be you. So for today's episode, I have the first ever sponsor of this channel, guys, Tiege Hanley. So guys, Tiege Hanley is a skincare company that helps men start and maintain a skincare routine by making the entire process really simple. It is literally the best skincare system for guys like you and me, and although you may not be an animated vampire, I know that you will love it too. The best way to start with Tiege Hanley, guys, is with their level 1 system, which is what I personally use, and it comes with all of the basics. You get a daily face wash to get rid of all the dirt and grime on your skin. You get a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of dead skin. You get an AM moisturizer with SPF 20 to help with sun exposure, and you also get a PM moisturizer so you stay healthy and hydrated throughout the night. Guys, Teach Hanley is great because every box comes with an instruction card that literally tells you when to use each product, how much of each product to use, and in exactly what order. There's absolutely no thinking involved. They just make it super simple. So if you are one of the male feminists watching this video, you're a hate watcher, then there's a high likelihood that even you have the IQ to use their skincare system properly. Teach Hanley is the first sponsor that I have ever had on this channel, guys, aside from myself, and the reason why I chose them, despite the fact that I get bombarded with sponsorship opportunities, is because I actually use them and they have improved the quality of my skin. They have tons of 5-star reviews on their website from customers in all different places all over the world. And guys, not only do you get great skin, but as a member of Teach Hanley, you also get a lot of benefits. You get 20% off of retail price, you can customize your box, you get deals, that nobody else gets. And you also get the ability to pause or cancel your order at any time if you live in the US, and you also get free shipping, if you live in the US. And guys, because Teach Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they are offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the video description and you'll get 30% off of your first box plus a free gift. And as a special bonus, guys, the free gift includes either a stylish bag dop kit thing or a high quality towel. Guys, don't miss out on this amazing deal. Click that link and get started today. And without further ado, guys, let's get back into the nauseating, headache-inducing TikToks.
And that I do not take lightly. Like, that is a really, really big deal, especially like somebody that grew up with a step parent that ended up being abusive. Like, this is a really big deal. And just the pressure of having that on my shoulders, that not only do they have to be a healthy person for me, but they have to be healthy for my children.
If it was such a big deal, this is the question that I always have for videos like this, guys, is like, these girls say that it's such a big deal that their child grow up with the correct father figure and stuff like this. But they say this, but at the same time, they literally choose a guy who is no longer in the picture for the kid. Guys, I don't feel sorry for these women. I personally don't care if they go out here and they can't get married and nobody loves them anymore. I personally couldn't give a crap. But I do feel sorry for the kids who are going to grow up without a father, or who are going to grow up with a whole bunch of dudes coming in and out of women's like this lives.
And my kids are at such young ages that they're really impressionable. So I have to find like the top tier man to be around me and my kids.
So this is a woman, guys, who, bearing in mind 30 plus years of age, has multiple kids, it sounds like, and wants a top tier man. Let's play that back again.
Kids are at such young ages that they're really impressionable. So I have to find like the top tier man to be around me and my kids.
Yeah, and what a great deal that is, by the way, for a top tier man. I love in these videos, guys, it is never ever considered what the man might want or what she can bring to a man's life. It's all, okay, here are the problems in my life, here's what I'm dealing with, and I need a man to fix this, this, and this, so I need this type of man. There is no discussion, guys, ever, of what these girls can actually bring to a man's life. There's no discussion of what the men might want. And guys, in the very, very rare instances where that is even brought up, it's completely incorrect anyway. They're saying crap like, oh, well, I have a good career, or like, I have this going for me, or that. They don't actually understand what men want, even if they do bring it up.
And I always stress, like, from personal experience, like, do not introduce any man to your kids for a very long time. I've said that before because I have made that mistake of waiting less than 6 months, and I think you should wait more than 6 months.
Okay, so we have already brought men around the children that are not the father to the children, and I'm going to assume that it's more than one. So we've already made this mistake. We're no longer with the original, father of the kids. We're going out here, we're trying to find a top tier man, and we've already gone through at least one who we've already introduced to our kids. And guys, that is one too many, in my opinion. Like, in my opinion, guys, these kids should not be introduced to dudes who are not their father. Like, what is this? Like, you're going to have a whole bunch of stepfathers that the kids are going to be introduced to over their lives. It's incredibly sad. I feel really bad for the kids, honestly.
Just my opinion. If you did different or think different, that's on you. You do your choices for your life. But just for me, I feel like waiting more than 6 months is ideal because that gives you time to vet this person. And I personally don't think that less than 6 months is enough time to vet somebody, not only for yourself, but also for your kids.
Guys, do you think it's funny how these girls will say that they need to vet a man, right? They need him to date her for 6 months, you know, take her out on dinner dates, show her that he's a top quality man, that he's a carer and everything. But the dude who she had kids with, he didn't have to do any of this crap. Hell, he doesn't even have to raise the kids anymore. He doesn't have to be in the picture. He doesn't have to marry her. He doesn't have to work for her, although, you know, he might be paying her money for all we know. Okay, but it's really interesting, guys, how, like, the men who go out here and just pump and dump these women, or the bad boys or whatever, typically don't even have to stick around to take care of the kids. But every subsequent man, oh, he has to go through all of these hoops. He has to date the woman for 6 months, take her super seriously, take her out on dinner dates. Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not.
Especially if you have little kids, it's a lot. And single moms are some of the most vulnerable people because you have little kids to protect. That is your job. And bringing anybody into their life, you need to vet them.
You know what your job was? Your job was to secure a father for your kids. Like, I love how we just totally gloss over the part, guys. It's all like, oh yeah, men are disposable. We can throw out men. Doesn't really matter, okay. But then when things get hard, we come crying back to men, trying to portray ourselves as a victim. Notice the way she said that. Single mothers are vulnerable. Yeah, you know why you're vulnerable? Because you couldn't secure a man. That's why you're vulnerable. And hell, you're not even it reminds me of those creatures, guys. You know, those the animals, like, they pretend to be prey, but they're actually predators. That's what a lot of these single mothers straight up remind me of. Now, guys, I understand. I'll say this again. I understand if the woman's a widow or something like that, the man passed away through things that could not be controlled, right? I totally understand that, okay? And I can empathize with these women for the girls who actually are widows and stuff like that. But that's not what happens in these cases. Like, I've said this a million times, guys. That's not what happens. Every girl seems to think that she's the exception and that her ex-husband or her ex-boyfriend was a complete narcissist. And then all of a sudden, guys, you go and speak to the guy and you find out that he's a very nice, level-headed individual, and it's the woman who is absolutely crazy.
You wouldn't have a babysitter watch your kids without calling references. At least I don't. So why should we allow any man to come in without vetting them, without waiting 6 months, without seeing who he really is? Not to say that any of my exes have hurt my children. They have not. But now looking back, it's a risk.
Right, so we have had multiple ex-boyfriends. Fantastic.
And that's why dating is so hard as a single mom, because you are not ever only thinking of yourself. Let me know what you guys think of this, how you handle things like this. I really love hearing your guys' stories.
Yes, guys, fantastic. Another TikTok video full of dating advice shot to you straight from the car from a single mother over the age of 30. Let's jump into this next clip here. I'm going to mute it because it has audio on it. It says, this is a single mother. She's over 30. She's crying. She says, this is real. This is raw. Not everything is hearts and rainbows. Sometimes the stresses of raising and providing for 4 children on one income takes over. 4 children, hey? No man, 4 children. Classic. Sometimes doing everything you can just isn't enough. I never understand why these videos, like, people just record themselves crying. I always found it to be psychopathic. Does it ever get any easier? She says. Let's jump into this next woman here.
Single in your 30s is a whole struggle. Because by now, you know, you should be in your career, you should be stable, you know, you do pretty well for yourself. I mean, of course, we all have room to grow, but, you know, once you hit 30, you doing okay. My problem is I get turned off so easily by the smallest things.
Right, so a 30-plus-year-old single mother who complains about the fact that being over 30 and single is difficult, but then not 10 seconds later, she says that she gets turned off by the smallest things. Isn't that great, guys? Like, imagine this, okay? You're a man, you go out here, you're dating, right? None of these girls want you, right? So you build yourself up, you go out there, you hit the gym, you make a lot of money, and then you have these 30-plus-year-old single mothers who think that they are entitled to you. You know, they're like, oh, I'm ready to settle down now. You literally have biologically different offspring, and you expect men to come along and to take care of it. And not only that, you expect a top quality man who ticks all of your boxes, who doesn't annoy you in very, very, very specific ways to give a crap. That is astounding, guys. That is like the level of mental gymnastics that you have to have in order to have that point of view is crazy. Is absolutely crazy.
Like when you ask, well, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm a flight attendant. And then they proceed to go, ooh, I'm gonna get some free passes. Absolutely not. Or when people ask you, what are you doing? And I respond, what I'm doing. And they don't change what I'm doing. And they go, well, just call me when you're free. No, you make plans. I put it in my schedule. You know, we are adults here.
All right, so what I'm getting from this video is basically this woman is upset because some dude canceled on her and he doesn't want to take her out on dates. And you know what, guys? Neither would I. Neither would I. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to take a single mother over the age of 30 out on dates who clearly is quite masculine? A lot of these girls, guys, they don't seem to understand, right? Or even if they do understand, they don't care what actually attracts a guy. Like, you can be a masculine woman, okay, you can have a boss babe attitude, you can have all of these pet peeves and things that you won't settle for, but guess what? A guy might come along, he might have fun with you, but that is not the same thing as a man actually wanting to have a relationship with you. This is why, guys, a lot of these girls, they struggle, okay? They can get dudes to have fun with them. They can get some dude to come over for the weekend, you know, for a day or night or whatever, and have some bedroom fun. But the struggle that these girls really have is men actually wanting to date them and take them seriously, that these girls actually like. There's always going to be some simp who will come out here and do it, guys, but the men that these women actually want, they don't want her. And what's funniest about this is they never actually consider what the man wants. And even if you guys, get this, okay? Even if you tell them what men want, they just call you a bunch of slurs and try and shame you. Right? Rather than go, oh, well, maybe I could try this, or maybe I could do that differently, or, you know what, maybe you're right. Maybe men actually do prefer it when I don't act in XYZ kind of way, right? They'll just throw it back in your face, say that you're, you know, any number of slurs, that you don't know what you're talking about, and yet they're the ones that proceed to go on and be unable to secure anything from a man who respects himself. Wonder how that works.
Look at your schedule. Ask me for my schedule, and we plan accordingly. Like, come on now. And then it doesn't help that I'm a flight attendant, because then I get, you're never home, you're always gone, you must meet men in different cities, men must just be climbing all over you. You probably can't even walk up and down the aisle, and you have a man in every city, and ooh, who's your companion pass? Can I get a companion pass? I would love to go somewhere. And then get offended when I tell them, if we go somewhere, you have to buy me a ticket. Because I am not going anywhere. On standby. Like,
I love, guys, like how men are still expected. Let's do the math on this situation, okay? Let's really hurt our heads here. So we have a girl who's 30 plus years of age. She's a single mother. And she wants men to pay for things for her. Like, she expects this, okay? A lot of girls, they want a man to pay for things, whatever, okay? But this woman straight up just expects men to pay for her. It's really astounding, guys, how they don't see how this attitude is incredibly off-putting. Right? They go out on dates with dudes, and then, like, they forget their wallet, or they insist that the man pays because that's the man's job, whether or not the man actually wanted to pay for you. It's the entitlement and the attitude that puts men off. I've said this before, guys, but a lot of guys who go out on dates, for those of them who are still brave enough to be going out here dating, a lot of guys will pay for dates for you. They will take care of you and stuff like this. But the moment you start expecting crap, it's like men go where they feel appreciated, okay, where they feel actually cared for. If you're someone who just demands men to pay for things and then you expect men to stick around, it's like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. The dude might do it the first time, like, let's just say you're out on a date and you expect him to pay. He might just do it, but then he, like, to just not talk to you and get it over with, and then he'll just not message you again. Or if he does talk to you again, it'll be strictly for bedroom fun only. This is what happens when you just come out here and you demand things from men, especially when you're in no position to be demanding things. It's crazy.
We're gonna go full fare. I can get you 20% off, but you're gonna buy me a ticket. I'm not gonna stress myself out. Like a house, you know?
Yeah, so you're not going to stress yourself out purchasing tickets for travel. The man has to do that for you for some unknown reason. Interesting.
If you're gonna date me, you need to have your own place to live. You don't have that, have a car, have the basic stuff. I can't talk to you because at 32, if I got my own shit, you have to have your own shit too.
Yeah, here's the thing, ma'am, woman, here's the thing. Men do not care about your possessions. You are a 32-year-old single mother, and you are flexing your possessions, your house, your car, as if men care about those things. If a man comes along and he's rich, right, he's got all of his stuff together, he's doing well, he's got his house, he's got his stability, he's got his nice car, maybe a couple of nice cars, and he looks at you, right, he's going to look at you and say, well, I don't need her car, I don't need her house, I don't need her money, and even if I did want those things, she's never really going to give any of it to me anyway. So what the hell's the point? Men do not care about your possessions. We do not care about your quote-unquote accolades, okay, your useless degree in gender studies or whatever the hell they're selling now. Okay, men actually just want to be appreciated. It is really not that complicated, and they don't want women who are 32 years of age, single mothers, and who are incredibly entitled. Guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, guys, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. And guys, make sure to take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.